Hi everyone, welcome to another stock analysis video. One of my subscribers asked for a video comparing PayPal and Square. So in this video, I'll be going through the earnings report and technical analysis for these companies and bring you the insights similar to what I presented for Tesla's key statistics last week. So let's jump into it. Let's start by looking at the revenue. Revenue is really the top line and shows whether the company is able to sell its products and services. Both PayPal and Square have a clear growing trend for the revenue. The difference in magnitude between the two shows the market share for each. PayPal's revenue has been growing steadily since 2013 from $6.7 billion to $17.8 billion in 2019, and the trend is still growing with no signs of slowing. Square has been growing as well from $850 million in 2014 to about $4.7 billion in 2019. In fact, we can see an acceleration in Square's revenue. Here you can see a much more steeper rise, whereas the rise in PayPal is a bit more gradual. But the revenue needs to translate into profit. The gross profit is also on a steady rise. Gross profit is the amount remaining after taking away the cost of revenue from the revenue itself. Now, compared to PayPal, again we can see an acceleration in the gross profit for Square. But to really have an apple-to-apple comparison between the two, we need to use ratios such as gross margin. Gross margin is the percentage of gross profit over revenue. PayPal has a very healthy gross margin, although it is on a downtrend. But still, the gross margin in 2019 was a healthy 45%. On the other hand, Square's gross margin has been on the rise, but has started to flatten at around 40% over here. Let's move on towards the net income. The operating expenses shows a normal growing trend for general and admin, but I'm really interested in product development as well as sales and marketing. Let's take a look at the product development first. Both PayPal and Square has been investing in their products consistently, but we can see a difference in allocation. Both has increased their allocation for product development, with PayPal doubling their investment from 2016 to 2017. The allocation was 800 million in 2016 or 834 million, and in 2017 it has grown to 1.74 billion. So that is a 100% increase in the amount of allocation for product development. But there is a clear difference in the approach for sales and marketing. Square is a lot more aggressive in growing their market share. Their sales and marketing allocation has increased by 62% in 2018 and by 52% in 2019, going from 253 million to 411 million or 625 million in 2019. PayPal's sales and marketing grew by 15% in 2018 and a mere 6% in 2019. So the rise or the allocation here is rather gradual. Now the real question is whether did this investment and strategy result in better performance. PayPal realized a gain of 23% in their operating income in 2019, although the gains were marginal in 2018. Square has become profitable in 2019. Let's take a closer look. Now here you can see that they cut down the losses by 31% in 2018 and turned in a profit in 2019. It is just a small profit of about 26 million, but still they have managed to reduce their losses and turn into a profit. Both PayPal and Square managed to convert the operating income into a net gain. The net income also includes gains from other activities such as sale of assets. Square's big gain here of about 375 million includes a one-time gain on disposal of assets of 373 million. So if we take away this gain, the actual net income would have been only 2 million. Again, let's look at a ratio for a fair comparison between the two. Now, similar to gross margin, net margin is the ratio of net income over revenue. It tells us the percentage of the revenue that was left after catering for all the expenses. PayPal's net margin has been flat since 2015 at around 13%. Square's net margin has been improving and rising gradually. The earnings per share for both has been increasing as well. PayPal's earnings per share has been rising at a rate of about 17% per year. Square's earnings per share has slowed down since 2017. The big jump you see here is due to the one-time gain of 373 million. If that is removed, the earnings per share would be just around the zero mark here. The cash position is healthy for both companies. PayPal saw a big jump here in 2018. Square's jump in 2019 was due to the one-time asset disposal of about 373 million. This is the net cash from the operating activities. PayPal has been investing in a lot of marketable securities and debt securities over the years. $8 billion in 2015, $5 billion in 2016 and 2017, and almost $6 billion in 2019. PayPal has also been active in borrowings over the years. Let's look at the quick ratio. Quick ratio is the ratio of cash and equivalents over the short-term liabilities. It is an indication of the company's ability to finance short-term financial needs. Usually, a quick ratio of 1 or above is preferred. PayPal always had been having a very low number for the quick ratio over here, right around 0.2 to about 0.3. So some companies operate in a certain way, and if that works for them, then it's fine. Square's quick ratio has been dropping gradually, and it is around 0.6 currently. The total current assets and liabilities are growing in tandem with the revenue. Square is seeing a more rapid growth. The story is similar for the total assets and liabilities. The book value per share represents the actual value per share of the company. PayPal is around $14.4 over here, and Square is at around $3.7. Clearly, at the current price levels, both the companies are overpriced. Now, the other point to highlight about these two companies is that both of them actually have very low long-term debt levels. Let's now take a look at the technicals. Now let's start with Square first. It's a very nice chart. There was a very nice growth over here and a big correction, and then recent run-up. Now, if we were to find some support and resistance levels, I identified two key levels here. So let's take a closer look at this. First of all, I really like this level over here because, first of all, it got broken previously, and there was a big spike up, and then with the correction, the market actually dropped right below this level. There was a back test right around here, and then before the price headed lower. The second time around, there was a test again, a more shallow test, where this 85 or 84 level held support or held resistance and pushed the price lower. Again, there was another test. So there was a few times already, and 4 times over here before the price collapsed. Finally, the price broke up a bit and came back down, and then it shot higher. So to me, this is a very strong resistance level which has been breached. So most likely, even if there's a correction, most likely this level will now turn from a resistance to a support. Now, if you were to put a trend channel encapsulating the recent big gain, we can see more clearly in the daily chart over here. Now, the price move has been quite strong, and here too you can see the support, and then from where the price actually broke higher. Now, the momentum is clearly on a bullish run. So even if there's a correction, I'm expecting Square to fall to right around 84 level, and I'm expecting this support level to hold and for prices to head higher still. Now, this is the chart for PayPal. It also is spotting a similar kind of run up, the recent run up here. And here the support region is quite clear. We have this point which was tested before 2 times, and then finally the price broke through with a big jump up over here. Let's take a closer look. Now, this jump up actually jumped up with a big gap. Now, this gap is right in the middle of this growth. So this is acceleration gap. So it's a very positive, very strong bullish move over here. And the good thing is that usually what will happen is when there's a gap, the gap will be retested all the way. And in this case, it didn't happen. So certainly the bullish momentum is extremely good for PayPal, and the price has continued to head higher. So I would say that this is another very strong support level, and even if the price were to break, this level 1, 2, 3 is likely to hold, and for further improvement in price going forward. Let's wrap this up. Both companies have very strong balance sheet. PayPal has proven to be profitable and Square is catching up fast, as can be seen in the rising net margin over here. However, at current prices, both are grossly overpriced, from the price to book ratio as well as from the PE ratio. The technicals are showing a strong bullish momentum with good support levels. To buy or sell depends on the investment objective. Long-term investors might want to wait for a correction to a more reasonable valuation. For traders, the stock has already run up by quite a lot these past few months, so the risk-reward ratio is not in favor. I hope this sharing has been useful. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And do let me know in the comments below what do you think about PayPal and Square, and also let me know what other stocks you'd like me to cover next. And I'll see you soon in the next one.